so we got 3 questions popped up really fast. We got to do these rapid fire.
All right, rapid fire.
So we have a question from Will Matthews. He asks, is there ever a time pushing content and marketing too early backfires? Or just get going and deal with the customer reactions as you go?
Well, so that depends on the type of content. Like for you to say backfires, I have a feeling that maybe you've had an experience with that. So I wouldn't think so. Like pushing content too early. I guess if you have a product release, you don't want to push it too early. So for instance, like we dealt with this with one of our e-com clients. They had a product, we didn't want to release it too fast and push it too hard because the back end wasn't built up enough to handle the attention. So it was like, hey, let's not hit this, 5 videos a day every day for 30 days because the system wasn't set up for it. So we had to basically say, when are we ready to push it live? It pushes live, bugs are out. Now let's start just going crazy ham on it and push it out there. So I wouldn't think so. But based on your question, it makes me think that you had a specific instance where it did backfire on you. But I think that you have to look at it like this. Most people think, I create a video, everybody's going to see it. That's not the case. You create a video, this many people see it. So like we dealt with this in the team. I said, instead of posting 1 time per day on my profile on LinkedIn, what if we did 2 or 3? And I was like, okay, cool. Impressions are up, engagement's up, more people see me, followers are up, cool. Then I said, let's push it to 5. And people were like, I don't know, man, you're going to piss people off. People might not like that. I was like, not everybody sees my stuff. So what does it matter? I'm increasing the likelihood for you to come across a piece of my content if I post 5 pieces of content a day. And if that annoys you and you're the type that is like, this dude's annoying, I want to leave a comment and leave some hate, which happens frequently, or I just want to unfollow them, then I get it. But I don't think you can go wrong with pushing out too much content, as long as the content is on brand and resonates with the audience.
Then we have a question from Jeff Ray, and he asks, is free to $35 HubSpot effective enough to provide enough results to convince management to expand investment in tracking?
I think that for $35, it's worth the starting point to build it up an investment. And I think that you can justify a light usage of the tools. You're not going to be able to do outbound email marketing, automation, and stuff like that, but starting to build the ecosystem of being able to track stuff and tying it into your website and starting the process is well worth the $35. If upper management isn't willing to spend $35 a month, here's some tools that I would say. Number 1, get HubSpot for $35 a month. Number 2, get LinkedIn Sales Navigator for $100 a month. Number 3, Jeff, that webinar I had on automation, get that system for $100 a month. Those 3 things together can be powerful because you've got outbound stuff and building lists with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You got some automation with that tool that you know about, Jeff, and then you're tracking and measuring results with HubSpot for $35 a month. So for $235, that any manager should say that's well worth it. Worst case scenario, do it for 90 days. And if you don't like it, then just bow out if it's not working. But I guarantee that it will work. That $235 is a well worth investment. If you guys want to know what that last tool is that I didn't mention to Jeff, just put I want to automate in the comments, and we will send you the link of where you can get that private webinar that's behind it's free, but it's behind a email wall.
All right, 2 more questions.
2 more questions. 2 minutes, 2 questions.
Tim Drinkwater asks, what day of the week should you do it live on?
It honestly does not matter. We do it on Tuesdays, Thursdays. We did a poll, asked people what day of the week is best. I would say not on Mondays because people are like, oh, I got to actually work this week. Not on Mondays. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, we had people say, oh, Fridays at 10 o'clock is the best in this poll that had like 300 votes. It does not matter. Just try it. I would say like sometimes around lunchtime, people are busy eating lunch or busy traveling or whatever. Like you just got to try it with your audience. So I'd say that the day, the time, whatever you think makes sense to your demographic, just go with that and test it out.
And David Yoder asks, I'm getting asked what percentage of revenue should be dedicated to marketing. I've got lots of input and can track return to the penny, but I'm curious what the good, better, and best in percentage of revenue.
Yeah, so I hate doing that because the market, the world will say like 2 to 2.5% of revenue. While I could agree with that in some cases, I disagree with it in others. We've got clients that are doing 30 million, 40 million that are spending more than that in marketing. We've got clients that are 3 million spending more than the client that has 40 million. So I would say it like this. If you take out trade shows and you look at just the digital side of it, because trade shows, you'll blow your budget. If you're doing multiple trade shows, you'll spend 50 to 100, 150,000 easy if you're a bigger company. So it depends on your size. I would say if you want to do video, so let's just say you came to me, what's his name?
Well, David Yoder.
David. Let's say you came to me and said, Kyle, this is what we're doing. This is what we want to do. What do you recommend? I said, I think you should do these areas. If you came to me and said that, I would say to really see movement, you're looking at $100,000 to start, to push out in a couple of the key verticals, to see, depending on the context, the size, the frequency, the depth, the amount of content we want to create, all that stuff, you can easily go to 160 to 200,000 a year. But I would say starting point to see movement, 60,000. You want to see a lot of movement, you're looking at 150, 160. That's not including media spend. So maybe you want to spend 5,000, 10,000 a month on clicks. Maybe you add in another 100,000 to that. But so it kind of depends. I never like saying percentage of revenue, because that makes it think that all things are equal. $30 million company that sells a $100 item is going to have a different marketing budget than a $30 million company that sells a $100,000 item. So you have to look at, what is your product worth? What does a typical deal look like? How much money are you willing to spend to get that deal? And then work backwards and say, how many deals do I need? How much attention do I have to generate to get those deals, and so on and so forth. But I would say you got to spend six figures if you want to move fast in any sort of capacity. 120,000 and up, 100,000 and up is going to start you in the right direction. Hopefully you guys got value out of the content. If you did, hit the subscribe button below, turn on notifications, follow me on LinkedIn. And if you want to listen to this in podcast format, head over to every major podcast platform, type in Industrial Sales and Marketing with me, and I'll see you on the next one.